Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be doing a tour of my Notion. So I feel like Notion is very popular with the kind of Gen Z people, so I'm a little bit, I feel like I was out of the loop for a while, but it's very popular kind of in the productivity side of YouTube. So I was like, you know what, I like my bullet journal, I like keeping everything organized. So I was like, I've gotten into it now. I still really like having everything on like paper format, but I think it's a good way for me to organize things if I'm on the go and I don't have my bullet journal with me and I need to keep track of specifically like lists and like things that or like books on my TBR and like those things. So yeah, I think like I really like Notion. I'm still figuring out a lot of the things here or there, but I thought I would do a quick tour of what my Notion looks like. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Hello everyone. So here is an overview of my main Notion page. So I just have this cute little banner here of tea and books, which I thought was fitting, and I did this little owl emoji just to kind of make it cute. But I will have linked down below kind of the template that I use. I changed it up. I really don't use these, like a lot of the features that are in here. I use it for like specific things because I do like having kind of my bullet journal do this stuff for me. So we can see here on the kind of main part of the page, it's documentation. This is what it was called in the template, so I just kept it like that. But essentially it has an index, which honestly I do not use. This is like the original one and I never use it, so I guess I can take it out because I don't really need it. But one of the main things on here that I use the most, the ones that I use the most in here are these three. So reading is obviously the first one, and it's also one that I have in my favorite section here. So I'll quickly show you guys what this one looks like. So again, I have like this bookish aesthetic here. So the first part, I have my active TBR. These are books that I have on my TBR. I also have this in my bullet journal as well, but it's nice to have a digital copy just in case I am out somewhere. Not these days now with the pandemic, but if I do go to a bookstore, I kind of know which ones I kind of have here, and I just categorize them based on when I get them, and so I know if they're like also their genre as well. So I have that all here, and then once I finish like a book, I will take it off of this list so I can kind of keep it and see how well I'm doing at keeping my TBR down. These are the books that I plan on pre-ordering. I'm filming this video still and it's February, so a lot of these are going to be coming out very soon. Probably when this video is up, most of these will already be out. So I just keep track of where the books that I'm most excited about, what days they're actually coming out, and then where I plan on getting these. Like I said, we're kind of in lockdown, so it's hard to kind of figure out where to get books because most of the time I don't physically go to these places anymore. So I just keep track of here. These are ones that I plan on pre-ordering. The only ones that I have pre-ordered so far are the Rose Code and Sunflower Sisters. So those ones I have on Amazon because they'll get there the day they comes out. Usually for these, I think I'll get at Barnes and Noble, just because I'm not as, I think like for these are the ones that I want to read right away. So I get them on Amazon so they come the next day. Here's also a wish list, and I haven't added anything here as of yet. If there's books coming out in the future that I'm interested in and I would like to kind of get in the future, I think I will add them here. But for the most part, I'm most trying to focusing on getting my TBR down and then just reading the few books that I am most excited about in regards to new releases. And then I also want to utilize the library a lot more this year. So this is a wish list that is specific for the library. So if there's a book that I'm not sure about, but I'm interested in reading, I add it here. So if I do end up liking it, I can purchase it in the future. But if I don't like it, it causes no kind of financial impact whatsoever. So these are ones that I'm thinking about getting. I'm in the future, I'm going to be doing kind of a library video. So yeah, this is just like my reading page. I do have a paper version of this in my bullet journal too, but it's nice to have one that's portable with me so far. So going back to the main page, another thing that I've been using is this watch list. And so these are shows that I would like to watch or ones that I'm currently watching that are streaming. So not necessarily ones that are kind of airing on TV right now, because I'm usually pretty good at keeping up those. So these are the ones that I'm currently watching and the ones that I want to watch. And then so I have the current episode, the total number of episodes, and the episodes remaining. And then I also include the streaming platform here. I think it's just a good way so I can kind of see which shows I can watch and which ones I'm interested in. So I do have a lot of shows here, so I'm making my way through it, but I like kind of this organization style, so it lets me kind of reminds me of which ones I would like to watch in the future. And the ones that I'm currently watching, I do track in my bullet journal as well. And then I also have a movies one as well. I'm not a big movie person, so this one I don't really add, but these are ones that I've seen that I'm interested in watching, so I just have them here as well just to kind of add to them. But like I said, we're not a big movie family, so that's not really a priority. And lastly, this is probably the one next to reading that I use the most, and it is this budget page here. And I've been trying to be more financially aware going into the new year. I think the pandemic has really kind of changed how I view financing. So what I have here is I keep just a spending and income log. January was the beginning of the year, so it's just kind of all the other stuff and paying off the credit cards for Christmas, so I have all that stuff here, but yeah, I just keep in, like, I basically am exposing myself. For most part, most of my expenses are for my health insurance, but I keep track of when I made that transaction, how much it cost, and then I just tag it based on what it actually was, and then I just have a sum here of how much I spent, and then also my income as well, which is good. So I've gotten definitely a lot better in February just on keeping everything, all my expenses to a minimum. Like I said, most of my expensive so far this year have been either for my health insurance, like medical, or for my Etsy stuff, just getting materials there. And my income here, most of I'm kind of exposing myself, but most of my income in February was all my tax returns. So that made up a big chunk of it. But usually for school, like I said, my school paycheck. But I just kind of keep this in, and it lets me become aware of how much I'm spending. And I just get better at, especially because I'm tracking everything myself, it keeps me more conscious. I'm like, do I want to add this into my spending tracker here? Like, do I really want to add that in? But I think this has really kept me in line and more aware of where my spending has been going. So moving on then just to the overview page again, I have the plans and work. This was in the original template in the calendar, which I don't use. I tend to use Google Calendar and my agenda book for this, but I do have a university page where I keep track of everything. So on this page here, I have the classes that I'm TAing for, and then also my 2 last classes ever, just the assignments that are upcoming. So I just provide the office hours for the professor and the corresponding Zoom links, based on, because that's the world we live in now, and then also the professor and their email address. This is the class that I'm TAing in, so I keep track of the assignments, when they're due for the students, and when I want to have those grades done by, and which ones are kind of in progress right now. So the students will be submitting on Monday. I'm filming this on Friday, so those are ones that I'll be doing next week. And then I do the same thing for my seminar class. So we just have to do summaries based on these presentations that are given to us by people from different fields. So I just keep track of when I want to turn it in by and all that, and then a presentation that I have to do that I finished. And the same for my stochastic systems class. I just essentially put track of all of the assignments that I have, and if they're completed or in progress. So it kind of just maps out all the major things that I need to accomplish for that semester. And lastly, there's just the major part of this page is just pictures of things that I thought were cute. So I have this picture of Tucker here. this floral picture and then kind of some aesthetic, like cozy, bookish things here, like academia things, because they make me happy. So I just have my yearly goals here that I would like to achieve over in 2021, and also my student loans goals and my savings account goals. Like I said, I think the pandemic really put into perspective how important it is to have an emergency fund and make sure you have something to rely on if something bad were to happen. So I just made sure I've kind of had like my mid-year goals, end-of-year goals for my student loans. Once I have an actual adult job, I'll be able to pay this off relatively quickly. But yeah, it's hard, especially now with being a student, trying to get that down. But I know once I have an adult job, it'll be paid within like a year basically. And then also my savings account goals, like I said, I think I want to really prioritize this. So I have my emergency fund, which I've already finished. This is how much money I want to keep specifically in my direct deposit, just in case something comes up that I don't necessarily need to pull from my emergency fund for. And then my separate checkings account will just have $100 in it that I can use as my allowance for 2 weeks. And then the remaining balance would go to my travel fund. And then my travel fund here, that's my year-end goal. When I graduate, hopefully by next spring, I'll be able to, sorry, I'm getting a text message, but hopefully I want to do like kind of a Europe trip. So I kind of want to start planning for that now, but hopefully the world will be safe for COVID stuff here. But this is just an overview of the main page. This stuff was on the template, but like I said, I do everything for this in my like agenda book or bullet journal, so I don't really use it. But yeah, this is just my overview of Notion. Like I said, I'm still very new to it, but I do find it a very good resource for just kind of getting better and staying organized and having something where I can have it on my phone if I need to refer to it if I don't have my bullet journal with me. That's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried Notion and what you think about it, or if you prefer having like a digital like thing that encompasses everything, or more of like a bullet journal paper person. Let me know. I feel like I'm a good hybrid of both. But yeah, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.